Zombie Grub here, bringing you a TvZ today on GSL Daybreak. In our top right, as our light blue Terran player, we do have Dr. Tekoff, and his opponent in the bottom left as the green Zerg, NRGK VZ, or as I will be calling him today, VZ, because that is far too long of a name to pronounce every single time. Or, alternatively, I'll be calling him the Zerg player, because that happens too. Green's such a sexy color on Zerg, by the way. Love noting that. Purple and green, pretty much the best colors on Zerg, I'd say. Anyways, we're on Daybreak today for this match. Daybreak is, of course, a map where you know where your opponent is. This really does play a huge role in the games that you see every day, because you love Starcraft, I just know you do. And you watch it every day like I do. But because they know where each other are, it really affects the mental game. They're thinking, hey, do I bunker rush? I know where they are. I can do a lot of damage. Zerg's thinking, hey, are they bunker rushing? Maybe I shouldn't go hatch first. Always just little things to play with your mind every single game. And actually, I think it kind of sucks more for the Zerg, to be honest, just to be always so aware that you could get bunker rushed or Reaper rushed or I don't know what, proxied. It's such a hard thing. I mean, Terran, what do they have to worry about? A roach rush? The 6 pool? Not usually not. Maybe a roach rush, but that's usually never the deciding factor in the game. You usually don't just completely lose to a roach rush unless you have 3 command centers, which if you saw any, what was it, MLG maybe? That's exactly what happened to MVP. Anyways, you're not going to see that today. He's, of course, only on 1 command center right now. And our little drone is seeing everything. He went there to make sure no shenanigans are going on. And none are, so he does go ahead and put down that hatch first, followed closely by a pool. Imagine there was 14. I didn't quite see what it was, but usually 14, 15 is a good mark. Getting that gas as well to get that speeding up rate as soon as possible. Now, we do see that our Terran player decided to put his barracks way back here, and some of you might be thinking, what is he doing? What is he doing? Well, I'll tell you what he's doing. He's going to make a supply depot wall right here with just supply depots. Now, you might be thinking, wow, that's so easily taken down by banelings. And you're right, but early pressure from Zerg is really fallen out of favor. It never really was quite popular, but it's more likely that they're going to be long macro games nowadays, so he's not quite worried about that. So he will be putting that back there. And why does he do this? Additionally, is because he's making a factory. You see that little factory? Look at that, so pretty, and a reactor. So when he switches them, there's no way a stray little Zergling will come up here and see it. If he made the barracks here and then swapped the add-on, obviously a stray Zergling would be able to see it. Just be like, hey, there's a factory with a reactor. But that is not going to be the case today. See, he's finishing that right now. He's also expanding behind it. You always expand behind Hellion pressure. There are hardly any Hellion all-ins, although they were pretty popular a few MLGs ago. Thank you, Slayers, for making Bluefin Hellion all-ins so great. Just kidding, I hate them. I'm primarily a Zerg player, I'll go ahead and admit it. I'm actually random now, but my heart belongs with the Swarm, I guess you could say, so gotta favor them a little bit. Now this Overlord is gonna, of course, scout this little command center. He knows nothing about the Hellions, but that's no problem. He's probably expecting something of the sort. You usually just don't expand by itself without something to apply pressure. But what does it matter? Because look at what we're having come across the map. Roaches. We have 5 roaches coming along the map, gonna do some damage, wreak some havoc in the Terran's main base. Now he's putting down a precautionary bunker, just a good idea in general. Excuse me. But now he definitely sees roaches and he's going, oh no, bunker, come on, finish bunker. Bringing all of the CVs to go ahead and let it finish, and Marauder is out already. The Hellion's not gonna do any damage at all to these roaches pretty much, but the Marauder doing tons of damage. Let's make sure it stays alive, and so far he's doing exactly that. And the bunker does finish. This pretty much means no more pressure from these roaches, and they're just going to go on home. They will be useful for these Hellions later off anyway, so not a complete waste of minerals, complete waste of time by our Zerg player. Now he wants to go ahead and move that Overlord just a little more to the right. Just a little more. Maybe later. But as soon as another Marine pops out, he will be in trouble. Doesn't look like that's happening right now, though. He's building more Marauders in case anything fishy goes out. And why not? He has Hellions to deal with Ling, so why really do you need a Marine? You really don't, and that's probably his thinking right now. Hellions and Marauders are usually pretty good for the first few minutes, up until they get air, which is extremely possible. 8 minutes would be the time of a lair usually if he didn't do that roach rush. As you can see, he did, so not quite the case. Now, these Hellions have had a delay in their timing. You always want to send out the first 4 or so and try and catch them a little off guard before they scout it, before they have a lot of Zerglings, before they even have too many Queens. And unfortunately, with that roach rush, it has been gotten to the point where he does have Queens, he has a semi-wall, he has the roaches, of course, so now these Hellions are just going to be used only for denying expansions, denying map awareness. And maybe in a lucky day, they'll be able to get in there and roast some drones, but it'll be pretty hard right now. And we do have a Ling counterattack going right now. Here they go, up and there they go. Marauders, of course, in this bunker, so they're not totally great at defending Zerglings. One Marine out, the Marine gets chomped away. The SCV's being pulled closer to the bunker, so the Zerglings will die faster. And he does not take out a single SCV, I do not think. He gets one in there, though. He sees everything that is going on. Sees this factory, sees the engineering bay, he sees how many SCVs there are. Sees everything pretty much. He sees also what is not there. He doesn't see a starport. You know there's no medevacs on the way, so he doesn't have to worry about drops quite yet, which is always a good thing to note. Drops a very scary thing for Zerg. Very scary indeed. Lair finally on its way. Finishes around the 10-minute mark. Gas is coming up. It doesn't look like a Spire is coming down. He has enough gas to choose some kind of tech, and I'm just waiting to see what it is. Apparently nothing. So he is getting one upgrade. That is pretty nice. That Carapace upgrade to make sure his Banelings and his Zerglings just last a little bit longer. No centrifugal hooks quite on the way yet. Not sure what he's doing, to be honest. He has enough gas. He should really start choosing the lair tech about now. Ooh, not investigating for those Zerglings. They just kind of got roasted right there. Oh, okay, there go the Baneling speed. But still no Spire and no Infestation Pit. Don't know what he's doing quite yet. Oh, there we go. Infestation Pit going down, so he's going to go for that Ling Infester style. That can be pretty potent. Just one of the things you can do with Zerg. The other one is, of course, Ling Baneling Muto, which is also very good. But this is a little more, you know, up in your face, I'd say, this style. It doesn't look like he's going to go for any more roaches, so it's not quite the beefiest composition ever, but it's still pretty good, especially if you get double upgrades, which I would love to see right now, but he's only just getting his second Evo chamber now, so it's not going to happen. Now this little task force with only 2 medevacs and some Hellions is actually probably going to take out this third. There it goes. Look at how fast that drops. Jesus. And these drones had to be pulled a little earlier. Few of them die in the way, and oh, coming from the back, we have some Zerglings just taking apart those Hellions. Look at he split. Very, very nice. Still a very large task force of Marines, though, and the Banelings need to hit. Banelings hit a few Marines, but the rest were picked up very smart by Dr. Tekov. Picked up, and now they're going to drop in someplace a lot safer. The Banelings have already actually been destroyed. They've been suicided, so they're no more. But he decides that it won't be the safest bet to drop right there and just goes on and heads home. Probably the better decision, to be honest. He saved a lot of stuff, and he destroyed a third. I mean, that's all I really wanted to do. Stop that third. Took out 2-3 drones. And get away with most of his army. That's a pretty good trade, I'd say. Now, these Lings are, of course, going back for another counterattack. He loves being aggressive, doesn't he? Oh, okay. There they go. There they go. And they're going in. Gonna be met with a lot of Marines, though. Gonna try and take out some SCVs. Not gonna happen. And nice supply. U-boat raise. Very, very slick. This third on the way, but we see there's a little creep. There's a little mess on aisle 3. Stopping that command center. And Zerglings are even there to stop any SCV. Ooh, a nice little drop. A huge drop, actually. He took those two, the remaining force that he had and just put in and dropped them. Very nice. Doesn't look like he took out anything important, though. No, scratch that. He took away the infestation pit. I'm not even sure it was done. It could have been even researching pathogen glands, and that would have been huge. Very nice to take that out, just stop that tech a little quicker, and really, this is like a drone party. Wow, okay. Too many drones. That is an example of too many drones on one base. That looks like ants fighting over sugar. That is a lot. He needs to move those over there. He's getting a 4th now, thank God, so those drones really need to be moved along. Just moved along, because right now about 10 of them are completely useless. Not the best. What is the drone count right now? We have 86 drones. Wow! And you can see most of them are on these mineral patches. Doesn't even have full saturation here. That is just, wow, that is a lot of drones on one base. Anyways, more Lings going in for another counterattack. Going to be met with the bunker, though. The bunker can kill a lot of Lings, to be honest. So he does get the bunker, but just nothing else he can really do. This command center is still waiting for the creep to go, but now there's another Ling there just waiting and being obnoxious. Very funny. More Lings just scouting for 4th before going back home. Some even left here to make sure no drops. Catch him by surprise again while he gets those pathogen glands. Almost perfectly started, by the way. As soon as pathogen glands is about halfway done, you get those infestors, and that is almost perfect timing. Look at that. Smooth as butter. Anyways, we do have Marines and 1 tank. For some reason, some of them are Minivats. I guess they feel a lot safer up there than I would. But 1 tank can actually really make a big difference. It's very obnoxious to take care of a tank at all. And with so many Marines covering the tank, so we really have to take care of him. But it doesn't really matter because he's going in for a counterattack once again, it seems. And there you go. There are so many Marines. Oh, not the best engagement. Yeah, there you go. Just want to go ahead and back up there. Unfortunately, cannot do any damage with the counterattack while losing his 4th. So he really needs to do something. At the very least, clean up this Marine ball. And how many is he gonna get? Oh, he gets so many. Takes out the tank, loses 1 infestor in the process. Fungal roast going down. Very nice. And we see that they took out the 3rd successfully. Ooh, that was the orbital command that tried to land here. Just went back over there and got taken out by Lings and a queen because the queen wanted the party. It didn't just want to stay there, you know. She gets really sick of just injecting every day, apparently. Too bad he didn't target down the weakest one. That actually would have been really funny to see that die on the way home. Not funny for Marines, of course. Very sad, very sad. Anyways, he was making a 4th in the process, so luckily he didn't have too much of a gap of his next expansion. But he is luckily gonna be able to make this one into a planetary, which he really needs because apparently VZ is very fond of the counterattacks. He definitely needs a planetary right there. Getting the defenses up, a bunker, lots of Marines to defend it, a turret too. Very nice, and his forces return home. Look at that, very happy. What else do we have going on? The production tab, we do have a hive going on as well as burrow and +2 carapace. Very nice defending. This is probably the most common drop area, I'd say, for a Terran player. Just leaving a few things right there to make sure nothing happens, no shenanigans, and look at that. Exactly what was going to happen? Shenanigans. And he just stopped it dead in its tracks, and he could actually get a fungal off. But I don't think he sees it. There he goes. Oh, this is huge. Oh, never mind. He doesn't continue with it. Unfortunately, we didn't have quite the number of infestors he would have liked. But that is lucky for the Terran player not to lose all of that. I mean, that would have been devastating. Really would have been devastating. This 4th, of course, not going to get out. That's a lot of Marines. It's 3 tanks we have now, so quite a number of tanks, too. Cancel, loses 75 minerals. Not quite as bad as losing 300. So, and he might just run away right now. No, he's going to go in for the 3rd, and it's totally unprotected. He is now getting hive tech, which is the worst time. He really needs an army right now, not upgrades and tech. And the queens will go down. The hatchery actually goes down first. And whoa, here we go. Banelings just exploding and absolutely crushing that planetary. No way it could have been saved. But that does mean that his 3rd is successfully gone, both on 2 bases now. And if Terran can successfully continue to reinforce and keep doing damage, he can actually win the game here. There's not much of an army for our Zerg player, and even the drops coming back into play here. Going to take out so many drones just because there are so many here, and they have never been transported or transferred. That's really too bad. Fungal growth actually taking out a lot of Marines because they're so low in the low in the red because this medevac is almost